disagreements over who owns the contract of Eric Young finally came to a head. TNA Management's Jim Cornette has signed Robert Roode versus Eric Young, June 17 at Slammiversary. If Young wins, he's free and clear of any contractual obligation to Roode. But if Roode wins, Young's TNA contract is null and void, and Roode can do with him whatever he wishes.
And his opponent from Minneapolis, Minnesota, Jerry Lynn.
Mike, as we watch the pioneer of the X Division come down the ramp, I can't help but think about the main event tonight, the King of the Mountain qualifier. When you think about that incredible matchup and sacrifice that Cowboy James Storm and the Wildcat Chris Harris had, it is befitting that these guys get a chance to become the King of the Mountain.
And Don, I absolutely love the message that Jim Cornette is sending to the locker room. There's no glass ceiling in TNA. The Wildcat Chris Harris, the Tennessee Cowboy James Storm, you're right. They tore down the house at Sacrifice in a Texas death match that stole the show. So how do you reward them? You put them in the Impact main event in a high-stakes rematch where the winner advances to King of the Mountain at Slammiversary.
When you think about, Mike, the blood that they were willing to shed just to get revenge in the Texas death match, and you put in, like you said, the high stakes, what's at stake to become the world heavyweight champion? There's no telling what these two might do later on tonight.
And think about this. Last week, AJ Styles joined Angle and Samoa Joe in qualifying for King of the Mountain. But to me, an equally big story was Christian Cage's favoritism to AJ Styles over Tomko.
Well, it was obvious that he didn't want to face Tomko in any way, shape, or form in a King of the Mountain qualifier or in the King of the Mountain match itself at Slammiversary. And I can understand that it's obvious that Tomko wants a title shot. It seems like he has a little bit more control over the phenomenal AJ Styles.
No question about that, and we know that Tomko is PO'd, but we still don't know who Christian's opponent will be next week in the final King of the Mountain qualifier.
As we see Bobby Roode get the momentum here, it's the mind games that Jim Cornette's playing with Christian that tickle me, because he has Christian just flabbergasted, not knowing what's going to happen next when it comes to Christian's coalition.
And on that note, it's time for the TNA Mobile question of the day. Who will Christian's opponent be next week? A, Jeff Jarrett. B, Chris Jericho. C, Scott Steiner. Or D, none of the above. You can text A, B, C, or D to 76,000 right now, and you get a free week of TNA Mobile.
Robert Roode right now, Mike, has gotten total control of Jerry Lynn. As you can see, he's using that power, and he throws him against the rail. And here he comes on with the boot to the face. You know, Robert Roode right now, it's interesting about Slammiversary is, he just bull rushes him right in that rail. As Eric Young's finally going to get his chance one-on-one with Robert Roode.
I mean, this is what he's been waiting for, Don, an opportunity for freedom. And the fans here at the Impact Zone, as we see Roode quickly get into the ring and go for the cover and get a near fall on Jerry Lynn. The fans have been so supportive of Eric Young. But between Ms. Brooks and Robert Roode, they've been doing everything within their power to keep him down. This is his chance for freedom, June 17 at Slammiversary.
And you know Robert Roode's got to be disappointed by not being in one of these King of the Mountain qualifiers, and you're wondering if Eric Young could take advantage of that. But right now, it looks like Robert Roode's just taking out that frustration on Jerry Lynn, and he almost got the pin.
Well, I mean, I guess there's a possibility that Robert Roode could be the opponent for Christian Cage next week.
Good point.
But think about this. Remember the hints that Jim Cornette told us last week? He said that, Christian, you referred to this man as a punk, someone who is beneath you, someone who's not even in your class. And I know that covers an awful lot of ground and an awful lot of people when it comes to that egomaniac Christian Cage and his opinion on everybody here in TNA.
This sold-out standing room only crowd, Mike, is just cheering on Jerry Lynn as he's trying to get some kind of momentum. He's just hitting a wall. And he goes up, and look at this. He snaps it off right on Robert Roode, and you can see the fire in Jerry Lynn.
Oh, he hit the Hurricane Rana perfectly. Quick reversal, however. Roode shoots Lynn off into the ropes. Here's the pin attempt by Lynn.
Two.
No.
Oh, that's the experience of Jerry Lynn. Beautiful drop kick there as you see Miss Brooks looking on.
So quick, back to his feet, and then he just spiked him. Dropped him on his head with the DDT, and another near fall for Jerry Lynn.
That just shows you how tough Robert Roode is, because he put him right on his head, and he was still able to get that shoulder up.
Gonna go for the cradle pile driver. Miss Brooks up on the apron. Referee Earl Hebner never saw the low blow behind his back.
Oh, she's all about timing, and she timed it perfectly, and there he hits his finishing move.
That's the payoff, and there's the 3 count.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner, Robert Roode.
Miss Brooks does it again. Her timing impeccable. Able to get referee Earl Hebner distracted just in time for Robert Roode to hit the payoff.
Bottom line, Robert Roode victorious. And now look at this, post-match, putting the boots to Jerry Lynn at Slammiversary. Robert Roode, you've got Eric Young, and here comes Eric down the ramp with the steel chair.
And you can see Robert Roode clear out. He knows after the matchup with Jerry Lynn, the last thing he wants is a fresh Eric Young and the steel chair, but Eric Young just in time. And look at him, he's getting out of the ropes, and he's coming after him with a chair.
Oh, and Robert Roode just shoved Ms. Brooks, his chief executive offender. He just sacrificed Ms. Brooks to Eric Young.
Well, listen to this crowd. Here's a chance for Eric Young to get a little revenge right here on Ms. Brooks. And do you think he'd do it, Mike?
Oh, I love it. You can get your freedom at Slammiversary, but get your payback now, Eric.
And look at Jerry Lynn as he gets right in front, blocks away. And Eric Young now has a free shot.
Wait. Jim Cornette.
Don't make a move. Do not move. I said there was going to be no men beating up women in TNA, and I mean it. Don't put your hands on that woman.
Crowd does not like that at
Cornette
all.
laying down the law.
No, wait a minute. You misunderstood me. I told them not to beat you up.
That's right.
I didn't say you weren't getting beat up tonight.
What on earth?
What does that mean?
Crowd loves it.
They're men. They're not going to touch you. But you got something coming. You want to stick your nose in people's business? Tonight, it's you one-on-one with Gail Kim.
Yeah! That's the way to do it. Somebody that can handle a woman in the ring, woman on woman.
Oh, I love that. Jim Cornette says tonight on Impact, Ms. Brooks to face Gail Kim.
Oh, look at how frustrated she is. She can't believe that Jim Cornette's able to get him again.
Let's send it to the back. Letitia standing by with Tomko, who is just arriving